Hello there. Let me know if you can or cannot hear me because I moved my microphone when I changed things around in this craft room. But I was in here crafting anyway, so I thought I'd just turn on my camera here. And what I'm doing is I'm making little ATC sets. So I'll show you one that I finished yesterday. So it's 3 ATCs. You could probably do 4 depending on the ATCs. This one's kind of thick. Um, but oops, don't be stuck. So there's a little holder here, and then the ATCs. And there, see, I've got that toad one with some of my monster skin that I made years ago. And then they fit inside of this little thing. And I'll show you how to make these. They're super easy, and you can make them any width you want. I want this to hang over. Thank you very much. I'll get in there. And this second set I'm working on right now obviously fits better because I didn't put a lot of bulk on them. So I might be able to get 4 in there. I'm working on the second one of the set. Hey, Chow. Hey, Teresa. Yay! Lunch break. And so this ephemera I got off of Etsy and printed yesterday and I cut most of it. I cut some of it by hand, but most of it I cut on my Scan and Cut, which, it's good to remember to use that thing because it was helpful. It's a little, my Scan and Cut's a little bit wonky when it comes to the bottom of the page. It starts cutting a little wonky, but it still cuts close enough that I can just trim off without any crying. So I've already stuck down. I've stamped these 3. I've already stuck down this Halloween stuff I got at the dollar store. I'm not super thrilled with it, but it was $1.25 or whatever, so whatever. It is really nice, and I like the little vintage. There was a lot. There was a lot. It was hard to choose. But I really do like that little vintage stuff. I got some other too that I haven't cut out, which is also kind of vintage. So it's like this kind of stuff to here, which is probably better for cards or journals than it is for ATCs. I wonder what this is. Blank page. But a whole bunch of tags and stuff like that. Let me move that because it's kind of in the way of my mouse. And then what I got inspired by was as I was cleaning up, I found my AirPods. I have trouble throwing away any boxes that I get from Apple because they're so fabulous. And there's this little kind of like booklet pages inside of something like this. And so I just kind of copied that design, made it the measurements that I needed for an ATC, and that's how I came up with that idea. And I don't know what I did with the template. It's laying on this desk somewhere, I'm sure. What's this? Oh, see, I might could use that for something. Hoarder. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. So anyway, back to business here. And I did stamping on these, but you can't really see the stamping unless I kind of move things around, but it's not important. It's background stamping and using tape where I can. Yeah, I really like that ecru color or darker colored ephemera. Let's do one tape here and a little piece of tape here. When I run out of tape that's easy to peel, I'll have to use the Blony tape. But I prefer this easy stuff. So we're gonna have her right here. Oh, she's not gonna want to stick unless I add some glue because she's sticking to this stuff, but not this stuff isn't sticking because I didn't glue it. I just have it stuck down with one little piece of tape. I'll have to add some glue. Let's just put a little magnet on there for a minute. So anyways, I was doing this anyway, and I thought, why not turn on the camera and just see if anybody wants to hang out, learn how to make these, or just get inspired to. Sometimes I like to just do a small, like, ATC project because I don't necessarily have anything in mind. And you can always throw these ATCs right directly onto a card. And I think that I will use glue on this little ghost. Yeah, it's not wonderful. I mean, I have other stuff. I just wanted to use that, and I bought another one too. Like her right here, and then I had a little star here somewhere. Where'd that star go? Stars are always disappearing on me. It's probably underneath this whole thing. No, is it under there? No. Where'd you go, little star? There were a few stars in the set, and so I cut them out, and they were tiny to cut out. Let's see if I can find another one in here. Ooh, that's too big. I like to do groups of 3. That's kind of a little bit of a design rule. Here's a star. This won't work. The one I had was green. I'll come across it. It's here on this desk somewhere. Hey, Irma. So there's ATC number 2 for this set. Yeah, I can definitely get 3. I could probably get 4, but I'm only going to go for 3. So here's the final. And this is where I audition the ephemera. And then I have this piece of screen that was actually out in our yard. Only Lord knows. But it's got some paint on it. And I'm okay with that. And it lays nice and flat. And it's actual, window screening. So let's see here. This witch is too big. Okay. Oh, I like. Okay, and then I need something small. Oh, there's a black star. Yep, okay. So I'm going to grab a piece of this screen and cut it. No, I'm not going to use a bunch of it. Hey, Reagan. Where do I want the screen? Want it on top of her? No, I don't. Okay. Probably should have cut it longer, but that's all right. Let's get, yeah, let me cut a longer one and save that one for a different one. Come here, you. Yeah. Okay. Tape. Don't let me lose that star. Ooh, I'm running low on this tape. Tell because it's slippy sliding off of the ring of the cardboard. Beautiful day here today, not too muggy, but that doesn't mean I plan on going outside. Every time I go out there, I get bit to death by whatever's biting out there. Mosquitoes or something. They just love me. I don't love them. Okay. I'm gonna use a little bit of glue and glue these two together. Something wicked this way coming. And then take a tape, go across both of them like so. I like using tape because I don't have to wait for it to dry. So I have plenty of Halloween stamps and things like that, but they're all still packed away. You know, not till really ready to pull them out till middle of next month. But I just felt like doing a little. Just trying to decide if I want this straight or not. Yeah, I think I do. And then the little star, go right there. So just like little mini clusters on 2.5 by 3.5 inch card, which I also did a 2.25 by 3.25, so that it would be, you know, bordered. And in you go. So these are great for about 3 ATCs. See, they're not going to necessarily fall out. You have to pull. Yeah, I think it's the no-seams that are getting me. Okay, so there's a second set. So now I'm going to show you how to make that ATC holder. Um, I have a mess everywhere I look. No room to move. So this one has an 1/8 inch gusset. If you want a bigger one, then you're just going to have to cut it bigger, obviously, right? Ooh. I already have one cut, but let me cut a new one just so you can see the whole process, because I'm using a 12 by 12 paper that isn't my favorite. So this has green and silver witches on it. It's just not me. And this is too black and white, but I can alter that. So I'm going to cut a piece. And I have to get out my big cutter here. This is going to be 4 inches. Okay, and then I can use this other piece for ATCs or a whole nother one or whatever. And then I'll get out my little cutter. Oh, shit. Why did you put that there anyway? Put it in the right place. Okay. And I'm going to cut this to 6 1/8. 6 1/8. And I go just a little heavy on the 1/8. Because, you know, when you score something, you get that little bit of extra space stolen from you. It's only a little, but okay. I'm going to take my scoreboard and I'm going to score this at 3 and 3 1/8. Then I'm going to flip it to the side. I'm going to score it at, and I go backwards here, but don't freak out. I'm going to score it at 3/4 and 5/8, and then flip it over score it at 3/4 and 5/8. So hopefully you can see my score lines. And I don't burnish them until after I've cut them. So now I'm going to do, so I'm going to cut all the way. I'm going to come in a little bit from the score line there and cut all the way down through the innermost score line and then cut off the innermost score line. I can see it. That's one reason to burnish them. I'm just going to bend it a little bit so I can see it. The problem is that the silver of the witches, so there you can see what I've cut out, and then I'm going to go ahead and trim this other side down a little bit too, just to the first score line. I'll do the same on this side, all the way to the inner score line, and then cut it off at the score line. So, and then I want to cut my notch. So I'm not going to fold it. I'm just kind of bending it and getting these even with each other. And then I'll take my little notcher, this guy right here. This is a recollection. It does corners and it does notches. And I eyeball kind of, it looks to be about 1/4 inch in on each side, and then just notch it. Come on. And if it wants to be a butthole, there we go. And the reason you notch both sides is because, and particularly if you're going to make this longer so that it covers the whole ATC, but I like them sticking out. Okay, bye, Teresa. So now I'm going to go ahead and do my burnishing, and this paper is so bad that it completely split. So we're going to find a remedy for that. I don't know what brand of paper this is. It was probably a Michaels paper pad that I bought at some point. I have a ton of 12 by 12 paper. So I'm not burnishing really hard on it, but I am pressing it down. And it is splitting, but it hasn't split all the way to the other side, so I'm not going to be mad. Okay, so I have all my sides. So when it goes together, it goes like that, and like that. And you can have either one be the front or back, it doesn't matter. And then it makes that little gusseted box. Doggone work on a Sunday, Teresa. So now I want to do stuff to this before I put it together because I don't like it to be so stark white. So I think what I'll do is grab my cookie dough and my cookie dough brush and just give that a little bit of character there. All right, cookie dough, where are you? Yeah, ATCs are kind of fun to do just for something to, you know, like a quick, let's get it done, because you should be doing something every day. So that darkened it down, but not quite as, let me see, what else might I want to do to this? Think it over, think it over. It definitely is not a stark white. Maybe may have a little bit of vintage photo. in just a couple of spots. And then some water. Water. This little thing is very loose. All my paintbrushes are because I'm hard on my stuff. Let's grab some water. I don't want to get it too wet because I don't trust this paper. I don't know it that well. We don't know each other that well. Let's do a little bit of black too. And I have, where did I put my, I have this Dina Wakley Media Gloss. Hey, Christopher. And I'm just going to go ahead, if I can get it open. It won't spray anymore. These things quit spraying almost immediately, which was very disheartening, but I'm just going to throw some black splatter on here. I kind of wish I had some blood red, but I don't. And if I do like blood, this particular ephemera doesn't lend itself to bloody things. I like bloody things. Trust me, I like it really macabre. But this is a little bit more fun. So there's that. Now I want to dry that. I don't want to dry it too much, but I want to dry that black up so I can edge it. I probably should have edged it first. I wasn't thinking. Now, what am I going to do with these ATCs? Probably nothing. Collect them. Put them all, maybe, oh, maybe I can put them all together and make it into a little mini journal. Think about that. That might be something cool. Yeah, I mean, if you have a Cricut, you might as well use all the tools at your disposal. Don't waste a thing. Even like with some of my 12 by 12 papers, I will just go ahead and turn them into something else, like doing a Franken paper on them or something like that. Now, if Mike walks in and you hear words you shouldn't hear, I didn't tell him I was going live, so you'll have to excuse his Mike-ness. All right, now I'm going to edge it, and I'm going to use my black soot distress ink because I don't want these white edges, and I don't necessarily want that green either. That's like my least favorite shade of green right there, this green right here. So I'm just going to come in and darken it down. Do I remember to trim that? I don't think I did. I think I forgot. Trim it right now. Doesn't have to be trimmed a lot, just a little. There we go. All right, where was I? Okay. I'm going to get each one of these kind of torn up corners and just sort of enhance and kind of cover those tears. So if you wanted this, say you wanted this 3.5 inches, you're just going to add 1/8 of an inch and you're going to score at the 3.5 mark and then the 3 5/8 mark. Oh, look at I mathed for you. think I got everything. See, I'm just gonna fold it together. I do. Okay, now I want to decorate. I want to decorate it before I glue it together so I can, put pressure on it. And so we know this is going to be the front. You can make either side the front. It's completely up to you because they're both the same. I'm going to make that the front. I've got this little piece of screen here, which you can barely see. Do I want to put this cat on here? No. Nah. I'm going to hoard the cats. I like this guy though, but look how long he is. He's too long. All right, let's look at the cauldron. Might have to cut the spider off the cauldron. Okay, keep looking, keep looking. There's a ton here, so. Got a little owl, a little spooky pot, and for something small. Look, uh, what was that comic that I used to read when I was a kid? It had a devil in it, but he was like Casper's alter ego. He was a sweet devil, but he had some mean brothers. I could trade my ATCs. You're right about that. What was the name of this devil? Does anybody remember? Not this one in particular, but it was was it Marvel? Ooh, I don't even remember who made the comic. What was that devil's name? I think I like that. I don't think I need the screening in here because it's really kind of, I think what I'll do is I'll take out the off-white. You know what? No, I've got some crap in here. Where's my crap? Where's my crap? Where is it? Oh, snake, it would have bit me. I've got some dyed gauze here that I think I'd rather use. It's easier to work with too. I just dye my gauze with spray stains. So that one's obviously antique linen. I'm all out of antique linen spray stain. Okay. Let's just get a little piece of this apart. And this might be cheesecloth. I have some made of gauze and some made of cheesecloth. They're basically the same. Dang it, Bobby. Ooh, what's that? Ooh, that's a little snakeskin looking thing. I just love my little stuffs. Okay, tape. Tape, where'd you go? I moved it out of the way and now it's gone. Oh. Okay. That way that thing does not move on me while I'm trying to put stuff down on it. Okay, we're going to start with the spooky pot. I'm going to use tape. I have lots of 1/8" tape, but boy, that stuff is a pain. It comes unwound, it gets all over the place. You guys know what I'm talking about? It's just a little bit of a nightmarish thing to work with. Okay, we're going to do this cookie pop right up here like so. Little owl right there. I like this little owl. The die cut pieces came from Etsy, and most of them came from, I'll show you the shop because I left it open on purpose. It wants me to leave a review. This is, I don't want to review it right now. I just want to purchases. The Sugar Moon Market Retro Halloween Fussy Cuts. So I got those, and then this one was just a single page, old world pages. Just a couple of bucks. But most of these came from this. Let me open it and see if I can make it bigger. There we go. And I cut them out with my Scan and Cut. You're welcome. Okay, that's stuck down. I don't know that I want to edge this owl, believe it or not. I just want to tape him down. Oh, I got some tape sticking over the edge there. Can't have that. Hope it's not. How about that? Well, maybe an itty bit, but not enough to make a difference. Yeah, I spent yesterday fussy cutting them and using my Scan and Cut with them. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. And you can use tape. But I don't use tape to glue the boxes. You could, but I'm not that careful with it. And, you know, it's a one and done with tape usually. And if you mess up, there's not a thing you can do about it. Okay, so now my box is ready to put together. Hey, Lori. So I'm just using my bookbinding glue because that's what I use most exclusively. I used to use reptile adhesive, but this stuff's cheaper and cheap is what I can afford. So I do them one side at a time, and I just kind of pull and fold and get that so it's kind of flat against there, and then I kind of carefully hold it, flip it over, and then I just take my bone folder and go inside and give it a press. Once I know it's not going to slippy slide out, then I'll do the other side. And then it gets a chance to dry while I do the ATCs that go in it. Heck, you could make smaller of these and just slide a piece of candy in there for fun. You know, maybe to take to your coworkers or, I don't know, something. I enjoy doing this kind of stuff because I don't decorate my house anymore. I mean, there's no little kids here. Um, we don't get trick-or-treaters. So it's more of just me, a way that I can still be kind of a kid here. So there's my little, oh, you can't see inside. See, I made that so nice and dark you can't even see in there. My little ATC box. So now I'll make the ATC cards, and I think I'm going to use, no, definitely not. What do I have here? Okay, I have this paper right here. I have this paper right here. I kind of like this paper right here, but I just used it, so I want to use something different. Um, let's see if I can kind of cobble something together here with some of this bow binding stuff. Not cameras. I'm trying to use up stuff I don't use. Thought there was like, I don't know, typewriter keys. Those stripes almost work, but maps, no. I don't think so, Tim. Yeah, this is what I was looking for. Nah, too busy. Okay, moving right along. Let's see. I don't want to use the skulls again. I'm thinking. I know I have a ton of Halloween paper. It's just like I said, it's put away. Um, what's on this side? No, I don't like this. It's too juvenile. Tell me I'm weird. This stuff's juvenile, but this is too juvenile for me. I'm weird. Um, oh, here's that original template that I worked from Apple. It had all those little, and I don't have one of these kind of cutters, so hang on. I'm going to look for something. Oh, I know. Let's get something glittery. Glittery I can do. If I have anything right color of glittery. Maybe. I know I have black glitter paper because I buy it. I bought it last year for Halloween. Let me get a piece of that out. Oh, you know what? Even better. I think I like this polka dot paper. Might use the glitter too, though. Okay, that's what we'll do. Because I need to use this. This is all came from 12 by 12 cardstock shop. Okay. Okay, I have a plan. So I'm gonna cut these as my frame. So I'm gonna cut them 3.5 by 2.5. And then I can cut these 3.25 by 2.25. Wide is this? It's 2.25. Oh, sweet. Good. I don't have to get into that other 6 by 6 piece. Okay. I'm just piling up scraps over here to the other side. Oops, playing. And let's round the corners on all those. This looks like it does about a 7mm round. One, two. Thought I cut 3 of them. Hello, where'd the third one go? Is it? Yeah. Jeez. Hi, Connie. It doesn't matter. It's just a pop-up live. I thought that I was crafting anyway. I just thought, well, let's just turn on the camera. What the heck? Maybe some people are bored on a Sunday. Are these coming out? Yeah, they are. Okay. All right. So I'm not going to do any stamping on these, and I think I'm going to use the dark side, but I definitely want to edge them. And I'm coming in again with my black soot. Okay, this is going to tear up my little thing, so I'm just going to dab. I don't necessarily need to edge these, but I don't want any white showing. So that's how those are going to look. I'm going to go ahead and glue them down as I go, because it's going to take a minute for that glue to grab on the glitter cardstock. But Halloween definitely has glitter. Right? You know, my favorite thing Halloween when I was a kid was Halloween carnivals, especially the cakewalk. Anybody ever do or win a cakewalk? There's no bigger thrill than to win a cake. I won a pound cake once. A whole cake all to myself as a little kid. I was so sick. But you know, I don't know that they even do that kind of stuff anymore. Apple bobbing and cakewalks, and because now you apparently can't at school have home baked things. Really blows. But on the, you know, on the safety side, it makes sense. Other fun little, you know, arcade games that the PTA, you know, put together. Not arcade, but carnival games. Not real carnival, you know, like, yeah. Cakewalks are so fun. So it's basically, if I recall it right, it's like musical chairs. But when they stop the music, you land on a square, and all the squares are numbered randomly. And if your square number coincides with a cake, you win that cake. That's what I remember, and I could not be remembering it right. Gosh, I should. You know what I should do? I am. Because I've got glitter on these, I need a little bit of glitter here. So I'm going to make a little flag. Scissors. I just feel like I need to have cohesion. You want a cake at a thing at a work fund during a fundraiser? So fun. I mean, gosh, like I said, especially if you're a little kid, but even as an adult, winning a whole cake is really something. I don't want to lose my rickety stuff here. Come back out. It tucked itself in, doesn't want to come back out. That's good enough. There, that makes it all, like a matching set. Just scooch down a little bit more. I don't want a bunch, I just want a little bit. Come here, Hootie. I think back on it, I think that cake is the biggest thing I ever won in my life. Otherwise, I've won, maybe $20 on the scratcher before. But you can't win if you don't enter, and I don't enter a lot because I feel like I can't win. I hope that makes sense. Hey, Tara. Welcome. We're building little ATC sets here today that I may turn into a little flippy page type journal thing. Where you can take the, oh, look at, he completely came off. All right, glue. The glue wins. All right, get your butt back over there. You could do that. Okay, so say you have those little Hershey bars or whatever kind of candy. We'll do one. Let me finish this one. And I'll go grab, all I have are Three Musketeers. I might have a Mounds, but just out of curiosity. Because also, remember as a kid getting Lifesaver books? What a thrill. I always gave the mint ones to my grandmother. Like mint. I do like mint, but I didn't as a kid. Mint was no. Okay, so now we decorate them. But if you got the measurements just right, you could make a little candy booklet. That'd be fun. I think I'll try that. I gotta get some more candy and not eat it before I go live. Okay, we'll do Midnight Brew. Did anybody remember the name of this little devil? I gotta know. He was Casper's friend. Okay, Casper's little devil friend. Hot stuff. Hot stuff. This guy looks a little creepier than hot stuff, but hot stuff was sweet. His brothers were jerks. Oh, neat, Reagan. That is a cool win right there. Oh, yeah, no doubt. 19. Extremely poor, hungry, probably. Ramen budget. You're lucky to get a generic dollar store little Debbie thing. Bum. Let's see here. Midnight brew. Ooh, I like this. I like the shape of this one. Yeah, I need a third element. There's a little star. Can I pick it up? No, I can't. Okay. Okay, perfect. So, love it. I love it. Okay. Just try and decide if I want something back behind it or not. Where'd that little piece of screen go? Here it is. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Okay, tape. Well, I only beat you to it because I Googled it, but I could not remember to save my life. But I was a big fan of Casper comic books, Hot Stuff, Richie Rich, Dot. Anybody remember Dot? Everything was polka dotted. Everything. Loved it. Archie. Mm, yeah, definitely liked comic books as a kid. Okay. Midnight brew. Let's get the glue out because it looks like my tape's being kind of a jerk. Oh, guys, I'm getting hungry. I made waffles for breakfast, but that was at like 7 o'clock this morning. Now, feeling hunger. You know, waffles are kind of like pancakes, they just don't stick with you. And I can't eat more than, two. And I just have one of those teeny tiny, like mini waffle makers. So the waffles are about the size of Eggo waffles. Oh, the ephemera is from Etsy. And let me tell you, I'll grab it here for you because I forgot already. Because that's just the nature of my brain. Let's go to me. Let's go to my purchases. This is the Sugar Moon Market Retro Halloween Fussy Cuts. And I cut them out with my Scan and Cut. The Sugar Moon Market. I'm going to write that down so I don't have to waste your time looking it up again. In case somebody else comes along and wants to know. Because Lord knows, I'm not going to remember. The Sugar Moon market, not moon market. This is why I don't write things down. Retro fussy cuts. Halloween retro? I forgot. Maybe. Okay. There's my personal note to self. Okay. There's one. Put her in. All right. Let's do another. I like the ghost on there. Two ghosts. I love the signs. Oh, spooky night. Hey, Mike, just to let you know I'm live, so don't use any bad words. I said just to let you know I'm live, so don't use any bad words. Yeah, a couple baked potatoes sounds good. No. No, it's cool. Thank you. Love you too. All right, this is do I want what? No, I'm good. Okay. Not that because I don't want to cover all of that. Look, this is a little piece of a lime bag. I'm gonna use it, I think. Maybe, maybe not. Okay. I saw something else in here that I thought I might want to use with this. Ooh, black cat bonbons. Yummy. Halloween dance. Oh, that goes good. No, it doesn't. It's too big. Haunted hay rides. Oh yeah, this is what I was looking at. I was looking at that and I got distracted because Mike came up. Wanted to make sure he didn't mess up my live hair. Come out if you dare. Here's a black star. And that takes care of my 3. And let's get a texture element. I don't think I want to use the black screening. Oh, you know what? I got a little scrap of this. Something I trimmed off. Yeah, I don't buy any pre-made ephemera anymore at all because, it's one and done. Where this, I can print this out every year if I want to. Okay. I might have a little orange scrap over here too. I don't know if I want to use an orange scrap. Oops, how did you fall out? What other scraps do I have over here that would be useful? I don't see any. Oh, this would tie it in to the bones. Okay, we'll take it. We shall take it. And this is what happens and how I go down a certain rabbit hole is I start looking at scraps on my desk and thinking, what can I do with this? What can I do with that? Let's get these out of the way. But I don't want to put them in my scrap pile because it's too big. I want to go, let's go that way. Time is it anyway? It's 2:15 and he's telling me he's making dinner. Okay. Well, I was planning on making something else, but if I don't have to, I'm happy about that. There's my little star. Okay, come out if you dare. Okay, I got a problem here. I don't want to cover my words. Do I have a smaller? I do. Ooh, what's this guy? Nope, too matchy-matchy. There we go. That's better. No, it's not Spellbinders, Connie. It is something I bought on Amazon. Let me see if I can find it for you. And it's a set of different ones. I can go into my Amazon account and go into my purchases. Where's Amazon? I don't remember getting, oh, there it is. Okay, no thank you, I don't want Prime. I'm looking for myself. Orders. Search all orders. Measure. Let's search measure and see if it pulls it up. Yes. It's called Mr. Pen Ruler Washi Tape. And so I used the blue one because it was biggest. I still use the other stuff too. I don't know what I did with the green one though. I don't know, it's around here somewhere. Okay, and then we'll put a little star right there, and that'll be number 2. These are going to be kind of tight because they're, um, you know, thicker paper. But I noticed I didn't put anything in the back, so just leave that blank for now. So it could be journaling space. You could put your ATC labels on there. I don't have any ATC labels, and I'm really, really lazy. I hate making them. Oh, sorry. Halloween dance. Graveyard this way. No. These are all pretty big. Oh, I love this one. I love these retro moons. They're about my favorite thing. And see, up with that, I don't want anything big. I want some stuff under it. And here's a little star. No, I'm looking for another star. Here's one. You can tell which ones I cut and which ones were cut by my scan and cut. No, I don't know about that star. Um, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna, I like this one. Right now, beware of things that go bump in the night. That would be my stomach after eating fried night candy. Yeah. Oh, you bought some ATC stamps? See, good idea. Um, well, let me show you a close up of how I did this, Connie, because the only thing that I was disappointed is that these go this direction, right? So the centimeter, so I have to put them on here upside down. Um, I bought some from Lowe's as well. Or no, maybe it was Michael's or Hot. Yeah, it was Michael's. They have some that's made by the Scotch brand, but it also, you're upside down with these. So the Spellbinder stuff I think goes the right direction, but they came out with that after I bought this. I'm not even going to edge these because I like them the way they are. No, I am. Just a little bit. So if you came in late, I did show how to make these little holders. I don't know if it was in the very beginning of the video. I can't remember. Where's the lid to my black? There it is. Close it. Get you out of the way. I still think that I would like to have stickers, and the reason for that is because, as you can see from most of mine, I make a sloppy mess on the back because oh, crap. You know, I'll ink stuff on my table here and forget because it's black, I can't see the ink, and then, lay something right down in it, and that is what it is. Okay, and I didn't put anything textured on this one at all. I left it pretty flat because looks like space might be an issue in this box because of the thickness of this glitter paper. So I'm going to make another box, but I'm going to make it so that it can fit more. So we're going to math that together and see if I can, see if it flies. See, that's pretty tight. But I've got all three ATCs in there, and there's a notch on either side so you can easily grab them, and especially if you're going to make it longer. So that's what I'm going to try and do. Let me find the lid to my glue. Let me find a piece of paper that's going to work size-wise. You guys come over here a minute. You come over here. You come over here. Let's grab, I've got this one here. I don't think it's wide enough. What did I just take out? Oh, let's see, how wide is this? Let me see. Ruler. Okay, this is 4.5. I think it will be wide enough because I did 4 inches and I want to do 1/4 inch gussets. No. Okay, if I did 4 inches, then I did No, no. Oh God, here we go. El Branio, where are you? Think, think. I wrote down the measurements. Yeah, so I'm scoring. I did 4 because I needed it to be 3.5. I'm thinking 4.5 inches is going to be about right. And then I want them to be the full 3.5, and there's water here. I can see it. The full 3.5. So I'm going to need that to be 6.25. No, 7.25. Okay. Okay. Here we go. So the measurements for the sleeve, Irma, are, let me give you a chance to write that down. That's for the little 1/8 inch gusset one. I'm going to attempt a 1/4 inch gusset one here, and I'll write those down if it works. So you score on the long side at 3 and 3 1/8. Score on the short side 5/8 and 3/4. Flip it over and repeat. I'll leave that. Oops. Hi, Shalana. Hopefully you got that. If you didn't, I will put it up again. Oh, how come this paper is wet? Because I set it down in water. That's what happens. These long, big measures are a pain in the paducci on a table that's a mess. So what did I say? 7.25. And it's already the right width at 4.5. Okay. So I'm trying to make one with 1/4 inch gusset. I'm going to need my scoreboard. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to score this at 3.5. Can I see the half mark? I think that's it. 3.5 and 3 3/4. That should, this should be, this side should be 3.5 as well, and it is. Okay, so here I need this side to be still 2.5, right? So that's one. Thinking here. It's 2 right there. 1.5 to 3.5. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to score this at 1. And I'm going to score it at 3/4. I think I have it right, you guys. Flip it over. I'm going to score it at 1. I'm going to score it at 3/4. I think that's too wide. 2.5 right there. Yeah, it's right. Okay. So for a 1/4 inch gusset, we did 7 1/4 by 4 1/2. Long score was at 3 1/2 and 3 3/4. Short score 1 and, well, let me do them in physical order. 3/4 and 1 inch. Okay. You can't see that at all. There we go. Here's the measurements for the next one, for the full-sized one, if you want them, with a 1/4 inch gusset instead of an 1/8. So I'm going to do all the other operations the same. I'm going to kind of just bend this in half, and I'm going to use my little tool here. Oh, that didn't cut very straight, did it? That's fine. You don't have to be so precious about it. Notch it. Okay. Now I'm going to do the trimming. So I'm going to trim right along the score line, all the way up to fold, and then kind of in, do a little there, do a little trim there. I love doing stuff like this, by the way. Trim that all the way to there. Oops, trim it off a little bit. Make a little V there, and then trim this directly on the score line. Now I can go ahead and fold my folds, and we'll be at the moment of truth. That one didn't do very well. There we go. I don't think that's straight at all. Let's get it so it's straight. There we go. Okay, so let's grab an easy ATC. So it's going to fit all the way in, but then you have that notch so you can grab it out. Okay. So there's the measurements for a 1/4 inch one. Let's go ahead and decorate that one, and then I'm going to call it done, because I'm starving. Starving, Marvin. Okay. So first thing I want to do is get rid of that white. It doesn't have to be perfect, because you're not going to see a lot of it, but you will see it. See what I mean? I'll do this on here, and then I won't remember that I've done that. And edge up all the edges. And you can decorate this stuff any way you want. You can go crazy or keep it simple. I definitely want to cover up where this paper is crappy and doesn't like to, you know, fold without being ugly, showing its guts. That's how you take care of it. I feel like this fold isn't on the right spot, but it is. It's a little wonky. Can you see that? And I don't like it. I don't like it to be wonky like that. Which side is being wonky? This one here. Pull you back to where you belong. Once you fold something, you're pretty much stuck with it. It doesn't want to behave. Let's see here if I can get it to behave now. Now it's better. Oh, you don't want to mess with it too much and completely tear it all the way through. I think I got all my edges. Almost. Could all probably even do even shorter, but then you'd have to be looking at centimeter type measurements, which, Americans aren't crazy about. Where's my glue? You guys? Oh, I don't want to glue it until I decorate it. Okay, let's decorate. So this was a little bit taller, so I can add, one of my taller. I really want to do that dancing skeleton. I can't help it. He's just so cool. Yes. Yes, indeed. Um, I took a nap. I woke up at 2 o'clock this morning, and somewhere in the night last night, after I was already asleep, Mike had sent me a reel. And so I was awake at 2 o'clock or two, maybe it was 2:15 or something. And I watched the reel and I went down a rabbit hole. And so I was up. And so probably about, I don't know, 9 o'clock this morning, 8:30, took myself a little nap. And I don't know what the point I'm trying to make is, if there's any. I lost track of what I was talking about. Oh, you good. Can't take me anywhere. Let's get some gauze because we're decorating the outside of the box so it can be as fat as I want it to be. These scissors don't cut for squat on gauze. They work great on paper, but not so much on gauze. I don't want that good and stuck down, so tape. I don't know if I'm live on Making Cards with Friends tonight or next Sunday. Usually Christy sends me a link and I haven't heard from her today, so I'm going to assume it's next Sunday. I hope I'm right. I don't mess you guys up. Okay, glue. This will be my favorite just because I like this little guy. You guys see Simon Hurley's new release? I really love it. And almost all of it. The little animals, not my thing. I don't dislike them. I like them a lot. Just not, wouldn't be something, but the other stuff I might actually consider purchasing someday when they go on clearance because I can't afford them right now. Okay, and I want one of these little signs because that's what I love about this ephemera is there are signs. This is still kind of too wide and too big. Yeah, I like that. Okay, Reagan, see you around. Thanks for popping in. See, it says this way to Halloween on the arrow, but the finger's pointing that way, so go figure. It's a paradox. I want a star because I need to have 3. There. I'm going pretty heavy with the glue here because I'm gluing it over gauze, and so the glue has to get all the way through the gauze and everything. Leave that sit just for a second. And I think what I'll do while I'm doing that, I'm gonna flip this over. I'm gonna do a little stamping on the back side. Um, I have a small skull, but it's in my Halloween stuff, so can't do a skull. You know what? I think I'm gonna do this Wheel of Fortune here. And a little bit of this guy right here, which just happens to be sitting out on my desk. Because you can decorate the back too if you want to. But I'm just going to do a little stamping on it just to kind of give it a little bit of extra. Hey, Jim. Yeah, I like that. Let's do a little bit here too. Just kind of pull everything together. And okay. I'm ready to glue. Start with side A or side B. I guess this would be side B if you were counting A is left and B is right. Just gonna kind of try and get these so they're evened up as best I can. They're not perfect because remember the paper wasn't really straight. Oh, careful there. Now one this size you could even take and make yourself a little lid. Stick it to the back, and flip it over, bend it and flip it over so that it tucks in like a deck of cards. This side, side A, which is now side B. That is the Halloween Paradox. I like that sign. I think it's fun that you guys do stuff together on the weekends, Jim. Me and Mike never do anything anymore. Oh, we never really did, other than go fishing together. We don't eat out because we're both paranoid of out food. Okay, so let's just say I do want to make that into a little deck. What I need to do is I need to grab a piece and I need to cut it at just a hair under 2.5. When I say just a hair, I mean just a hair, maybe a 1/16 of an inch. So I want it to be able to tuck in. I'm going to need to round the corners. And decide how much I want it to tuck in. So maybe 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to score that. 3/4 of an inch. And then the width of it is 1/4 of an inch. I'm going to just take my thing because I need it to be just slightly wider. And I'm going to scooch it ever so slightly back and then do 1/4 of an inch. Do it at the 1 inch mark. Let's make sure I have matched that correctly. Okay, I have. Now I don't need as much because I'm going to glue that to the inside, but I'm going to go ahead and cut this down. So in that case, you only need a notch in one side. And cut this down to about 2¼ inches total. Oops, clang. Okay, let's ink that up. Where'd my black go? We need more ink on here. I'm just going to darken this down because it's too light for me. Okay. I love making little boxes. That's what I was doing when I first started paper crafting. That's what I was doing, making boxes and 3D items. Oh, I shouldn't have put that line of glue across the top there like that. Wasn't thinking. Wasn't thinking. I only need it to be up about like that. Let me just kind of wipe on that. Inside. A good burnish. Make sure it's still straight. Make sure I can bend backwards this way. Backwards and forwards. Yeah, see, I can't get it to tuck in. This should have been maybe a little bit shorter. I mean, I can probably get it to tuck in, but not without a lot of hassle and not without bending my paper pieces. There we go. I guess if you know, exercise it enough, it'll work fine. So let's test it. And I think maybe if I round up these corners a little better and that glue's not sticking. You stick this because I'm messing around with it before it's ready to be messed with. Um, let me see. Well, I'm not going to worry about that right now. So I've got these three here. I probably have wet glue in there and I'm screwing up. But it'll fit more. But it fits them perfectly. All right, let's do this. Let's take my scissors and let's make this coffin shaped. I'm just going to take this little piece here, lay it across here so I get those even. Ink it up. There, it'd be a lot easier to tuck in like that. Although I'm still gonna struggle. There we go. There we've got the ATCs. They're fitting in here, but I made everything go crooked. There we go. Little ATC boxes. Or candy boxes or whatever. Yeah, I think if you're going to do a flap like that, you would want to arrange it so that the flap somehow hooks on the outside or use stronger paper. Anyway, thanks to you guys for coming to hang out with me for a few minutes while I craft. Now I'm going to, I don't know, do something else. Maybe take another nap. I hope that you learned something that helped or you were entertained or whatever might make you pop that thumb up, and I appreciate you. And I will, you know what? I don't even know where my mouse is, you guys. Oh, it's buried over here. Okay. I will see you guys around the room. Take care. Bye.